Though police have not confirmed a motive, the murders in Atlanta have drawn new attention to the wave of hate crimes since the start of the pandemic.
And new at 11, while there are still unanswered questions about the gunman's motives, WPTV News Channel 5's Josh Navarro shows us how it's intensifying concerns for the Asian American community.
The reality of anti-Asian racism is not acknowledged. That's when it grows. That's when it grows unchecked.
Ryan Sangalia of West Palm Beach says the recent attacks of 6 Asian women in Atlanta is a continuation of historical racism and violence against Asian communities.
This is something that's been a part of life for Asian Americans. Now people are starting to see it, and now we're actually starting to see it manifest as violence.
The organization Stop AAPI Hate has revealed this week that nearly 4,000 incidents were reported to them since the start of the pandemic.
I do have some, anxieties.
Daniel Bell is the secretary of Florida Atlantic University's Asian Student Union. Like many others, he was heartbroken to hear the tragedy that happened, but shared his own personal experience.
I always have, the question in my mind, like when people look at me, I'm like, is it because I'm Asian?
Is misogyny or is this racism? And the reality is it's both.
Takeda King Peng is the executive director at the Women's Foundation of Florida based out of West Palm Beach. She says a recent conversation in public made her realize more dialogue needs to happen.
I mentioned, how this all started because of this rhetoric. Calling it the Kung flu is what angers and gets people all worked up. And 3 people in the room with me started laughing because they thought it was funny. It was a joke to them. And I'm literally talking about 6 lives that were just taken. And that's the reality. These aren't bad people. These are people who see Asian Americans as invisible.
An issue she hopes is now visible and the catalyst for change. In West Palm Beach, I'm Josh Navarro, WPTV News Channel 5.